no! What's up my cool dudes, I'm Dylan Dude, and welcome to my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for 2018. I'm profiling one of my favorite pendulum decks, Dinomist, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time, so let's just jump right into it. So starting off, I run 3 copies of the Dinomist Spinos. Spinos is your OTK of the deck. He has 2 effects, each one you tribute a Dinomist monster to activate. The first one is this card can attack your opponent directly. And then the second one is he can make 2 attacks in each battle phase of the turn. So with Spinos, your pendulum summon him, if you can get him, plus 2 other Dinomist monsters out on your field, plus unlimited removal in hand. You contribute both Dinomist monsters to activate each of his effects. And then during battle phase you can limit a removal, and that is basically game over for your opponent. Next up, I run 3 copies of the Dinomist Pteran. Pteran is your 1800 beta. When he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, and since he doesn't have to be when it's sent to the graveyard. I almost said that. You can add 1 Dinomist card from your deck to your hand. So you can add missing Dinomists for your combos. You can add the Dinomist Charge spell card, or you can add your trap cards, Dinomist Rush or Dinomist Howling, depending on what play you want to go for. Next up, I run 3 copies of the Dinomist Ceratops. Ceratops, when for monsters you control are Dinomist, you can special summon this guy from your hand. Ceratops is actually one of my favorite Dinomist cards because he can just summon himself out. You can normal summon Pteran, special summon Ceratops, and right there you have an instant link play. You can go Mistar Boy. You can go the Qliphort Genius, which we did get that in what's it called? Extreme Forces. I bought some of that pack today and I already forgot the name. So that's why I like Ceratops at 3. Next up, I run 3 of the Dinomist Ankylos. So for Ankylos, banish any monster that's destroyed in battle with a Dinomist. So banish any opponent's monster. Banish any. Yeah, I'm getting myself confused. So with him, especially if you use your big beaters, you can banish all your opponent's combos. So like against Fire Fist, no, not Fire Fist. I was thinking Burning Abyss. That's the one I was thinking of. So against Burning Abyss, you can, if you get this plus a few monsters, their Dantes aren't going to be activating their effects in the graveyard, but the others will. But really, it just stops all those effects that activates in the graveyard. So that's why I like it at 3. Some people run a 2 and take in 1 Stake Store, but I really do like it at 3. Next card I'm running is one of your more important cards, and that is 3 copies of the Dinomist Plesios. So with Plesios, all face-up monsters your opponent control lose 100 attack for each Dinomist on the field, card on the field, not monster. So that includes Dinomist Charge, that includes Dinomist Howling, that doesn't include the field spell Dinomic Powerload. That would be so cool if it did, but if it was a Dinomist card. But, can't make this deck too overpowered, right, Konami? Next, for the 2-ofs, I run 2 Dinomist Brachion. If you control another Dinomist, if you do not control a Dinomist Brachion in your monster's zone and your opponent has a monster with the highest attack on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So I like him at 2 because you can't special summon him by his own effect unless your opponent has the highest attack per monster on the field. So, and also he's really just Xyz fodder for Cyber Dragon Infinity. He's Link fodder for Qliphort Genius or Mistar Boy. He's just awesome the way he is, and I like him at 2. Next up, I play 2 copies of Dinomist Rex. If this card attacks at the end of damage step, I can attribute 1 other Dinomist card, Dinomist monster, sorry, and this card can activate 1 of its effects. It can attack an opponent's monster if that monster is in defense mode, it inflicts piercing damage. And then or he can tribute a Dinomist monster and shuffle 1 card from my opponent's hand back into the deck. So I used to play him at 3, but I don't like him at 3 because even though the shuffling from the hand into the deck is good, don't get me wrong, he's just not my biggest OTK, and this deck is, in my opinion, is meant to OTK ASAP, so that is why I run triple Spinos, double Rex. Anyway, moving on to spells, I run 3 of the Dinomist Charge. Dinomist Charge, when this card's activated, add 1 Dinomist monster from your deck to your hand. It's basically a 5 formation tanky, but it has, instead of giving it your Dinomist 100 attack points, if a Dinomist monster is sent from the field to the hold on, I'm getting myself confused. When this card is activated, okay, if a Dinomist card is added from the field to the extra deck, then you can add 1 of those Dinomist monsters to your hand. So it just helps recycle some of your Dinomists that go to the extra deck, especially for Link summons. So you can Dinomist Charge, Link summon Mistar Boy, Qliphort Genius, then get added back to your hand. Then get 1 of the materials added back to your hand. Next up, I run 3 of the Dinomic Powerload. This card also helps you with OTK because Dinomic Powerload, all Dinomist monsters gain 300 attack and defense. And when you attack with a Dinomist monster, your opponent can't activate spell and trap effects, activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Jeez, I'm butchering all my effects today. Would you believe it? Anyway, to search that out, I do run triple of the Terraforming just to get it as fast as possible because it is an added protection to your Dinomist cards. Next up for spells, next up in the spell lineup, I run 3 Instant Fusion because Instant Fusion you can summon those fusion monsters of choice in this deck are Rare Fish, Panzer Dragon, Sea Monster of Theseus. So you can special summon these. Panzer Dragon helps you go into Infinity, and the other 2 help you go into Mistar Boy. So it's really all depends on the situation you are in to what you bring out with the Instant Fusion. Next up, I run double Scapegoat. So with Scapegoat, you use this at the end of your opponent's turn because this card is a 1-card Borreload Dragon or any Link 4, but you mainly go Borreload Dragon because Borreload has those arrows where it can free up your monster zone, your main monster zone, so you can summon extra deck monsters there, and that really helps with this deck being pendulums. So with Scapegoat, just token control for Link summoning, it's not that, I mean, if they force you to go first, it's good. Otherwise, you can wait a turn, summon a Borreload Dragon, and then you can do all your damage. Next up, 1 limited removal. With limited removals, as I said, just helps OTK, just doubles the attack points of all your machine monsters. And it is a quick play, so you can use it whenever. Okay, moving on to the trap lineup, I run 3 Dinomist Rush. With Rush, special summon 1 Dinomist from your deck, and it's unaffected by all other cards. And destroy it during the end phase. So you can rush into like one of your big combo pieces, and it gets destroyed during the end phase. And if Charge is on the field, you get that straight to your hand, so you don't have to worry about pendulum summoning it from the extra deck. Next up, I run 2 of the new card Dinomist Eruption. So Dinomist Eruption, when this card's activated, you can place 1 or 2 Dinomist cards from your deck into your pendulum zone. But you cannot pendulum summon except for Dinomists. Then with this card, I'm forgetting what's per turn. If this card is already face up on the field, you can you contribute 1 Dinomist monster you control, target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So it's just there just to complete your pendulum scales, thin out your deck, and then bounce a couple of cards here and there. And the final trap card I play is the 1 Solemn Warning because just stopping your opponent from summoning big heavy monsters is good now, especially since Towers is back. Because Konami really wanted Qliphort Towers back for some reason, but I'm not judging. Anyway, moving on to the extra deck, I run 2 copies of the Mistar Boy. So Mistar Boy, all water monsters gain 500 attack and all fire monsters lose 400 attack and defense. And when he's destroyed, you can target a water monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Since you do XE summon a lot with this deck, it really does help recycle all the pendulum monsters that go to your graveyard because they are detached for XE's and monster effects. Next up, I run the 1 Qliphort Genius. No explanation needed. Everyone knows what he does by now. Next up, for the rest of the Link monsters, I do, as I said earlier with the Scapegoat, I do add the 1 I do play the Borreload lineups, so you can make your 1-card Borreload Dragon, which is 2 Link Spder, 1 Missus Radient, and then the Borreload Dragon on top of that. So basically, the way you summon the Borreload is set your Scapegoat in your spell and trap zone. At the end of your opponent's turn, activate Scapegoat, draw for your turn. Next up, you just use 2 of your Scapegoat tokens to summon your Missus Radient. I really should have thought this through. Then you just use the other 2 tokens to summon your Link Spiders and then link them all for the Borreload Dragon, and voila, instant big heavy beater, and then you get your spell and trap zones. Not spell and trap zones, monster zones free, so you can summon Pendulum Summon from the extra deck. Next up for extra deck, I do, as I said, for the instant fusion targets are the Sea Monster of Theseus, the Panzer Dragon, and the Rare Fish. I really need to get this camera thing worked out. I'm trying something new. So just Sea Monster of Theseus and Rare Fish are just water, so they fit in well with the deck. And Panzer Dragon, as I said, there for the Cyber Dragon Infinity play. For XCs, I run the 1 number 37, the Bagooska, Heavy Armor Train Iron Wolf for the rank 4s, and then finally I run the Cyber Dragon Nova and Cyber Dragon Infinity for the rank 5s and 6s. I was running Volcasaurus in the earlier builds, but you really don't make Volcasaurus at all. You're much better going Nova Infinity and then going off on your Link Summon plays. But yeah, anyway, that is my Dinomist deck profile. If you guys enjoyed this video, could you please show your appreciation by smashing that like button down below. I almost said there answered the question today again, but this isn't a Let's Play. I don't have any filter, but anyway, if you, as I said, if you guys enjoyed, please like. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. I do Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh videos, as you can probably tell. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here for now, so until next time, stay frosty.